Do you prefer using Lightroom, but need to up your game when it comes to tethered shooting? Watch this video as I walk through my tethered photography workflow with Adobe Lightroom and my Canon mirrorless cameras. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Scott Lawrence, a full-time headshot and portrait photographer based here in Detroit. As a headshot photographer, being comfortable shooting tethered is almost essential to the job, so let's jump in. To start, what is tethered capture? In a nutshell, tethered capture is simply when you connect your camera directly to a computer while shooting. As you shoot, images are immediately transferred to the computer. Sometimes, depending on the software, they can be simultaneously stored on the camera's memory card and transferred to your computer, making a great backup solution on the job. Why do I shoot tethered? As a headshot photographer, my clients are typically busy professionals, running into a conference room or my studio for a quick photo session. Tethering allows me to offer them instant feedback on what we're capturing. I'll often tell my clients, let's shoot a few frames and you can see what you think. This gives them reassurance and confidence, and they know what the images are looking like, and there's no surprises after the fact. If they want to make a quick hair change or don't like the way their shirt or jacket is laying, we can see it and make a change on the spot. This also significantly reduces the need for a reshoot. We can then make a final selection of the images right there, and this speeds the overall turnaround time for the project. At the end of the day, I simply send off my selects to the retoucher. There's no need for the client to pester their colleagues to pick their favorite images. In addition to workflow gains, a larger preview allows you to see the details that might be missed on the back of the camera. Most people, non-models, aren't used to seeing multiple high-res photos of themselves on screen. So I always remind my clients that these are just proofs. Final selections will of course be retouched, and the odds of anyone seeing their photo at this size is very unlikely. And this is not a stretch. For the vast majority of my work, the images are going to be on company websites, LinkedIn, pitch decks, that sort of thing. They won't be on a billboard, although they could be. So here's my tethered gear setup. Number 1, a Canon mirrorless camera. Number 2, a Tether Tools USB cable and a laptop. Number 3, a tether plate for a secure connection. Number 4, Adobe Lightroom Classic. And number 5, Canon EOS Utility. Now, this is a free version, and make sure you have the latest version of the EOS Utility. The Mac OS 13 Ventura update requires you have the very latest update, otherwise it won't work. Oddly, you can find this under the Mac OS 12 page on the Canon website, but it does work. I've tried it. In my studio, I also use a Tether Tools extension cable to connect my laptop. And I connect my laptop to a TV with an HDMI cable. This creates a comfortable setup to review the options with clients without having to huddle over the same laptop. So why do I use the Canon software in Lightroom? Using the Canon software is much better than shooting directly into Lightroom. As I prepared this video, to tether directly into Lightroom at the moment on Apple Silicon, you have to run Lightroom in Rosetta mode. Apple Silicon has been out for a couple of years now, and running anything in the backwards compatible Rosetta mode is just a non-starter for me. The Canon EOS Utility allows you to easily configure the capture to both the camera's memory card and the computer's drive, which is great for redundancy. The Canon R5 and R6 Mark II also allow pretty good wireless tethering, but here I would recommend sending only a small JPEG to your computer for proofing, and then upload the RAWs after your session is over. Having tried the wireless tethering a bit myself, I've found keeping tabs on 2 file types of the same image is a little annoying. Sure, there are organization tools in Lightroom to help, but it's just a little tedious, and we don't need that. So how do we get started? First, we do the setup in Lightroom. Setup is found under File, Auto Import, and make sure the Enable Auto Import option is checked. Then click Auto Import Settings. Set a watch folder. Lightroom will monitor this folder, and once something lands there, Lightroom will auto import it using the parameters you set. To start though, the folder has to be empty, otherwise it won't work. Then set a naming convention, just as you would with photos on the import menus. You can add develop presets too if you like, then connect and power on your camera and computer. Setting up the Canon EOS software. Here you want to configure the storage preference. I check camera and computer storage. You actually have a lot of camera menu options available here through the software. It takes a couple minutes to get the hang of it, but once you do, it's pretty straightforward and pretty handy. One key step in the EOS software is to make sure that the app is saving files to the same folder you named as your Lightroom Watch folder. Otherwise, your images will go to your computer, but Lightroom won't know where to look. And a technical note here, once installed, the EOS utility will auto-launch by default when you connect a camera. Now, this is great, but if you're using other tethering software or trying to connect other USB peripherals, and having a little trouble with some stability, try disabling this setup. That can tend to solve your problems. And last, a note on overlay options. Sometimes I have clients that require the subject be in a very specific location in the frame. Lightroom allows you to use an overlay image to do this. You'll find this option under the View, Loop Overlay, choose Overlay Image. Just load up a PNG with simple placement graphics and use the shortcut keys Option Command O to toggle it on and off. This ensures a lot of consistency as you shoot throughout the day. That's my process. Tethering is very handy and can add a lot of efficiencies to your workflow. Lightroom combined with the Canon EOS software is a great combination. If you haven't tried it, definitely give it a shot. If you have done tethered capture, what's your setup? Let me know in the comments. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. It really does help. See you next time.